What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and a lot of people have been saying that Azura had a shot for this year's Choose Your Legends, and it seems like they've given us a bit of a preview. So here is Illian Azura as a Lance Flyer, just like her son. So she has got her Illian Great Lance, which does not have -1 special cooldown. It does have resistance +3, so it can help you with the ploy crux skills basically. And also she does come with crystalline water, so it does help with debuffing. And then she has got counter distance travel +1 built into this weapon, which is absolutely amazing as you're able to just retreat out of enemies range after dancing. And then she has got the unconditional +15 to all of her stats, 25 true damage, which is at least going to be helping you do some damage whenever she's going to be attacking someone once in a blue moon. And she also has 15 flat damage reduction, but she doesn't have another layer of it like we usually see on these kinds of units because she is a dancer. Instead, she has got the desperation effect, which can work out nicely with her because she can still kill enemies because of the potent hit that she has got. But again, you're mostly just gonna be dancing with her. This is just going to be an additional thing that she has got in case she goes into the combat. And then she has got a supportive effect in her weapon, being a dancer. So she has got drive 3 row and 3 column range, which is going to be giving you Omni +5 to all of these stats of the allies. And it also gives them 10 true damage, which is good. And then she has got the Giant Drive Potent as another way of outsourcing Potent to the allies. So that's another reason why you can choose the other skills over having the potent skills and the passives of many of your units. And this is going to be something that you need to watch out for against the feud enemies, because you're going to be losing your potent follow-up attack as this is a drive support. And we haven't really had any kind of drive potent before. So this is going to be giving access to the potent follow-up attack for a lot of the range units, which couldn't have access to any kind of potent skills a lot of the times. And then she has got her preferred dance and songful essence. So this is an insane refresh skill because it is going to be a 2-range dance for the first time in the game. So you're going to be locked at the 2 range. It is not 1 to 2 range, so you're only going to be able to dance someone at range, similar to like a physic healer. So this is going to be making her a really insane dancer, and this sets a precedence for maybe Raisin, Lian ults, or even Emblem Violet being able to dance from far away or dance multiple units at the same time. So this 2-range dance, being a melee flyer who can easily run a cigarette ring or any kind of skill that can give her the extra movement, this is going to be giving her insane reach. And you can also run many of the warping skills and also air superiority and heavenly soar because she's a melee dancer. So that opens her up to many options that you can run her with. And the fact that she allows you to extend the range of your unit so much is also quite absurd, which we repeatedly have been getting with styles, with a lot of the warping, with extra actions. So in a way, it is not as insane, but still having 2-range dance is going to be a lot of fun and also extremely strong in summoner duels and for any kind of Ether Raid's defense or offense team, because you're going to be able to refresh like no other dancer. And it is also going to be re-enabling Kanto, so that is always helpful, similar to Rayon Plumeria. And she's going to be giving herself and the 3-space allies Draconic Hex status and also Pre-Impulse. So she doesn't have to dance to give this out. She just does that at sort of both player phase and enemy phase. And then she has got a component of ally support to her ally support or any kind of highest attack ally in 3 spaces that is not a ranged cavalier. She's going to be able to give +1 movements. So this is another thing that she can just give out without dancing, without using her action like her previous ults. She just gives this out at sort of turn. So I think that makes her a really strong dancer, because a lot of the other dancers that we have got in the modern times, they basically inflict or give you status in middle of the turn. but Azura just simply gives that to you at start of the turn. This can both be good and bad because it is going to be making you susceptible to getting erased by Mythic Loki and also being affected by the stall status. But at the same time, it just gives you more options because you don't have to dance with her to give these effects to an ally. And you can basically try and match the attack to give multiple allies the +1 movement. So that is going to be quite strong, but it will be taking some work with the Sacred Seals. So not only you get to dance them from 2 range, but you also boost up their movement. So previously we did have Rion Plumeria, who I would say was the best dancer, but here we have got Azura, who's going to be challenging her in that role. And I do like her a bit more because, again, you don't have to dance with her to give out her useful effects. She just gives that at start of turn, so that is going to be making her quite strong. And then she's got a kit which is mainly going to be there for using her resistance and then giving you the debuffs with the Defense Rest Discord, with the Crux Ploy. So this can make good use out of her base 48 resistance, which is probably going to be having a super boon, and you can still run a lot of slotsy skills like Shadow skills, for example. So her options are actually quite a lot. And then we have got the Star of the Banner in Harmonic Hilda with Florina. So this time she is a colorless bow flyer, and she is going to be trying to do something that Desert Marissa did last year, which is give you the Brave support. So here she has got Skybound Bow, and this is going to be having -1 special cooldown. And if an assist is used, then she gets the extra action, so she's able to make use of the favor skill. And she also gives the Coke status to the target ally. So she only gives this to the target ally. She doesn't get this status for herself. And then after using that assist, you're going to be able to debuff the closest foes and the foes in 2 spaces of them with -7 attack speed and defense debuff, the exposure status, and also the panic status. So this is a middle of the turn debuff, which is going to be splashable. And the Coke status basically lets you trigger certain skill effects. So I guess they have just made this open-ended to maybe use in future. Kind of similar to the bonded status of Summer Lear. So I guess they're going to be adding more effects, so you're going to be able to stack up more effects out of this, but I don't think we're going to be getting too many of them. So this Coke's status on your allies is going to be enabling them to get the dual phase Brave effect, as long as they're not triggering any kind of save skill, because giving the Brave effect to your saviors for free means that they do not have to have the opportunity cost of running Erika Ring or something else. And this just means that they're going to be able to break through a lot of the miracle effects. So you're not going to be getting that if your save skill is getting triggered. And then she gives out 7 true damage. So she can actually give out a lot of true damage support along with this Brave effect, which is always going to be helpful for nuking. And then if you put someone like Illian Azura, then you also get the potent follow-up attack. So for herself, she does get Omni plus 15 to all of her stats, and 25 true damage and 15 flat damage reduction as well. Again, not another layer of flat damage reduction similar to Illian Azura. And then she also has cooldown +1 per attack. So this can help you get the special charges with the Brave hits that she is also able to get. But for getting the Brave effect on her, you need to either win the speed check or you need to not be near any kind of ally with the Coke status. So it's a bit counterintuitive because you need to use your assist skill to give the Coke status to one of the target allies, but you cannot be near them or you're not going to be having the Brave effect. So there are going to be, scenarios where she's not going to be able to get the Brave effect and you're not able to kill an enemy because of it. But most of the time she is going to be winning that speed check with her insane speed, and she does do a lot of debuffs and also just has that stat swing. So she is mostly going to be fast. She does have Rally Defense Resistance Plus and also a new special for the archers in Waning Shot. So this is basically going to be a better curve shot as it gives you better damage output. So it is going to be boosting damage based on 80% of your speed or defense. So it can work out for the fast archers and also for the bulky archers. As long as you are not an archer with really low speed and really low defense and only resistance and attack. And you're also able to inflict the penalty on foes' attack and defense depending on the highest penalty on each of their stats, and also the debuffs on the foes in 2 spaces of them. And you also get the 40% unpierceable damage reduction on the first attacks, including the brave hits. We do have an upgrade of the mastery skill and attack speed airspace, so this is going to be giving you Canto 2. And unlike the mastery skill, you don't have to engage in a combat to get the counter out of this. So this is going to be very good for a lot of the range flyers. So this is going to be giving you plus 10 attack and speed, and it also gives you 12 true damage if you're near any kind of defensive terrain or impassable terrain or divine vein. If you're not, then you still get 7 true damage, which is not bad, and you just heal up 7 HP after the combat. So this is a pretty good slotty skill. And I could see this being used on a lot of the speedy range flyers as they did not have as many options. Attack speed Arya is something that they've got, but this does have the Canto built in, which is good. And this is also Canto 2. It's not just Canto remaining movement. And she also has attack speed favor, making use of the extraction that she can get after using her assist. And this is also going to be another option if you don't want to fodder off your Arena Ferox Marth. And then she has got the new Slossy skill, which we saw on Emblem Edelgard, which is really powerful on a lot of units that are not Edelgard, because this is going to be giving you the true charge. And because of true charge, you're able to bypass the warp blocking and also any kind of bulwark effect, so it's quite powerful. It also gives you +1 movement, keep in mind. So this is a ranged unit, by the way, with extra action and the +1 movement, and she then stacks up even more true damage support with this skill, giving you the 5 true damage in the crux range. And she's got her harmonic skill, which is going to be going really well with her stat spread. She does have high defense, so she's going to be able to inflict the frozen status and also the share spoils plus status on the closest foes and the foes in 2 spaces of them. So this is going to be very powerful with her stat swing. And this is going to be also really powerful in summoner duels, because share spoils means that you get an extra action, but sometimes the extra action can actually come to bite you, because you're going to be just staying there and be a sitting duck, and the enemy can basically just kill off the unit and get the revenge kill. But I can see this being really good when your enemy has just run out of their actions, and he can just pop this harmonic skill and then maybe get like 2 kills. So Illian Hilda is a very powerful supportive unit, just like Desert Marissa, who's going to be enabling the brave hits on your units. And now she has got this Coke status, which she can just give out to the other allies. It does take one of her actions, but still it is a powerful effect, and you can still try and spread this to other units with units like Arena Ferox Trom and also with Allfather. So I'm sure we'll see that quite a lot. And the Brave effect is the one effect which has always stayed strong in phase. So having the support of it is never bad. So having just one copy of her is going to be a huge upgrade for any barracks, because you just have the option of getting the Brave hits without using something like the Erika ring. And then we have got Illian Minerva as the 4-star focus. So she is going to be an axe flyer, and she's going to be extremely powerful as a 4-star focus that you can try and merge up. And she's basically going to be an arc rival spamming machine because of her slotty skill, which is a preferred skill. So here she has got Illian Battle Axe, which is going to be having minus some special cooldown, and also Canto Distant Travel +1. So that is always really, really solid. And just like the other units, she does have the unconditional Omni +15 to all of her stats, 25 true damage per hit, and also 2 layers of 15 flat damage reduction, one against the regular attacks and then the other one against the specials. And she also has the full damage reduction piercing on her specials. And like I said, she is going to be triggering her specials quite a lot, even a high cooldown special like Arc Rival. So she's going to be able to get past the pierceable damage reduction, but against the units that do not let you trigger your specials, she's not going to be able to get any kind of damage reduction piercing, as she depends way too much on her special. And at sort of turn and after her action, she's going to be able to debuff the closest foes and the foes in 2 spaces. So she is going to be able to debuff them for -7 speed and defense, the frozen status, which is always going to be powerful, and also the sabotage status. And she basically gives you this insane stat swing to your speed stat with the frozen, with the debuffs, and also with her slotty skill, which is going to be having the speed liberate. So Dragoon Pillar is going to be giving you Omni +9 to all of your stats, and also 7 true damage and 7 flat damage reduction. It does have the guard effect similar to young Minerva, and then she has got the pre-impulse effect in her slotty, which is going to be depending on the number of staff and flying allies on the map. So max this can be 3, so it does require a bit of team building, but I don't think this is all that hard to manage, because the reward of it is going to be extremely good with the pre-impulse -3 on your first attack and also on your follow-up attack. So she's easily going to be able to trigger something like double Arc Rival or Flame Wall with this kind of effect. And then she's got the 7 HP healing after the combat, and she's got another supportive effect in the slotty, which, as I said, is also really helpful in the speed stat swing with the speed liberate that is going to be going up to max 8. And she also provides the IO shield status, so that can be good with the flying units that are going to be run for getting the max advantage out of the slotty skill. She does have Wyvern Rift, so it is a decent skill, I suppose, on a 4-star focus, but I think we have seen some better ones. So that's a really solid 4-star focus unit if you're a big Minerva fan, and even having just 1 copy of her is good for the supportive effect that she can just provide to your team. At the end, we have got Illian Mia as a sword flyer, and she is going to be a very powerful and influential support unit because of the reflex status. So her weapon, Illian Longsword, has got -1 special cooldown. It also has Phantom Speed +7 built in it, so that can help with the speed check of many of the skills. And she can also give out the reflex status, the dot status, and the truly insighted status at sort of her player face and also enemy face to herself and the allies in 2 spaces. So just giving out that reflex is very powerful, and reflex is a meta-influential status effect that can just make your damage output go insane with all of the damage reduction that we have got. And she also has the truly incited, which is going to be stacking up with incited, I suppose, and it just has a higher cap, so maxes can go up to 8. So this is going to be another thing that can help you stat stack. And for her own combat, she is going to be able to get Omni +15 to all of her stats, and then 25 true damage per hit, and the usual 15 flat damage reduction in 2 layers, one against the regular attacks and then another one against the specials. She also has Null Guard, so that is going to be making it a bit easier for her to trigger the specials. And she's also got the potent 100% follow-up attack if she wins the speed check. So that is going to be helping her with the reflex status, and she's basically going to be the best unit to give out the reflex status because, I mean, you can use literally Black Knight, but for Aether defense, he can be out of season most of the time, and with Tea Time Ingrid, you had to make her use an assist to give that to your allies, and same goes for Halloween Peony. So here we've got Illian Mia, who can just give that out at sort of her player phase and enemy phase to, you know, most of your team. And she herself is also going to be a solid unit because she's a flyer, so there are a lot of skills that she can run. She can have amazing mobility, and she doesn't really have any kind of preferred skill, but just giving out that reflex status is going to be quite influential for Aether defense, and you're probably going to be seeing her quite a lot there. She also has Celestial Form, which is good after Mythic Balder, so this can be a good special for a lot of the flying units. Speaking of flyers, they get an amazing upgrade, and also for the cavalry units because we have got the power creep of Blue Skies in Blue Sky Gust. So I'm not sure how the Cavaliers are going to be able to match with the Sky Gust, but the reason why this is a complete power creep is because you've got the insane counter distance travel +1 built in it. So you can just have much better Kanto, and this gives you +10 attack and speed in the combat, and basically you get 12 true damage and also 9 flat damage reduction. So it's a complete upgrade to already a really powerful skill, and I kind of hate the fact that it's gonna be really hard to duplicate this and inherit this because we do not have any kind of prerequisite fodder for blue skies. And for flyers, this is especially a big upgrade because they can run air superiority and heavenly soar and just warp insane distance and now make the full use out of something like counter distance travel +1 that the skill gives you. So that is going to be really powerful for retreating. And she also has heavenly soar. Who could have guessed with a blue sky gust? So absolutely stacked fodder. And she also has null uplift attack speed, so that can give her the null follow-up. The Tempest Trial of this banner is going to be bringing us with 2 Sacred Seals for the flyers in Wyvern Fly 3 and also Dive Bomb 3. So Dive Bomb 3 can be useful, just giving you that desperation, but we do have a lot of Hardy Bearing, and I wouldn't really say that it's all that insane, but I guess if you're not able to run something like Trample on a unit, then this can be something you can just run in the Sacred Seal. And unfortunately, we are not going to be getting any kind of new alt in this Tempest Trial, just like the previous one. So be sure to send feedback if you haven't done so already, if you do not like this change, because you're just going to be getting Kadean Nino, and this could have been the slot where maybe we could have gotten, Illian Shigure or Illian Tsubaki or Illian Hubert. That would have been kind of funny thinking about it now, and a really good inheritable weapon. I wonder what kind of inheritable weapon this kind of Tempest Trial unit would have gotten out of this banner. Probably having some kind of Crux-based support effect, which would have been nice. So this banner is going to be replacing the Desert banner after so many years, and this is going to be in a month where we're probably going to be getting the double Legendary Mythic or Emblem units, and it could be an Emblem unit even though we just got one in December, but they could always just double down. So that's something you need to watch out for with your orbs, as that is probably going to be a bit more must-have. And we're also going to be having a Hero Rises, so that's also something to look forward to along with the anniversary. So I want to thank all of my 2 members for their invaluable support, and you can click the link on the screen right now to check out my format building guide for the 3 houses Hall of Forms, and you can also subscribe and hit the notification bell, because I wish YouTube sub boxes showed my videos as many times as we get powerful Azura alts. So with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.